Number 1.
Number 1 for me from the college football season, week 1, Anthony Richardson, quarterback for the University of Florida. Freddie, I said time and time again last year, not this year, last year, that I thought Anthony Richardson should have been the starting quarterback for the University of Florida. They went with Emory Jones instead last year. But when I look at a guy like Anthony Richardson, you talk about 6'4", about 200, between 200, 235 pounds, elusive, athletic, fast, can run, strong arm. I think about a guy named Cam Newton. I think he's more athletic than Cam Newton, though. But I watched this guy this past weekend against Utah, who has a really good team, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. But Anthony Richardson, time and time again, made plays, threw 468 yards, very high percentage, completion percentage. Also ran for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns to help Florida come back and win that football game. But it was the youngster in Anthony Richardson that didn't make the plays that cost his team the game. Instead, at the end of the game, it was Cameron Rising, the quarterback who I had a lot of faith in, that didn't make the play and turned the football over and didn't even allow Utah to kick a field goal. So when I'm looking at a guy like Anthony Richardson, I look at his intangibles, and a lot of people said before this season that he could possibly go in the first round. I think after his first game, he's not only going to go in the first round, but I think he's going to be a top 10 pick if he continues to be consistent and lead Florida to more wins this season.
Number 2.
Number 2, I'm going to go with the UGA offense and Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett, by the way.
Stetson Bennett the 4th. That's right. And that's important because I'm the 4th too. So I know he wants it being said. Stetson Bennett and his confidence coming into this season is the confidence that he had in the national championship game last year. This offense put up over 570 yards of offense. Stetson Bennett himself threw for 368, 2 touchdowns. When you have guys like Brock Bowers, Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, Darnell Washington, Gilbert, 2 backs in McIntosh and Milton, Stetson Bennett can just walk in there and say, you know what, I am the mailman. I deliver on Sundays and holidays, even if you don't think we do. So Stetson Bennett, I think, and I tweeted something kind of being funny, but kind of being serious too at the same time. Hey, Stetson Bennett for Heisman? We don't know yet. But the man's confidence, he got a haircut. The man got a haircut, and he's playing even different this year already. He has confidence, Freddie.
Number 3.
Number 3, I'm going to go with Ohio State's run game. Ohio State found themselves being down in that football game. They were struggling offensively. Jackson Smith and Jigba got banged up early in that football game, so C.J. Stroud didn't have his top guy. They found out they got a young receiver, Ibuka, who's going to be phenomenal for them. 9 catches, 90 yards in that game this past weekend against Notre Dame. But the run game, Travion Henderson had over 90 yards. And then Mayan Williams, the last score that Ohio State had, I literally tweeted, it's the Mayan Williams drive. And I had an opportunity because I know their running back coach really well, Tony Alford. I talked to him after the game, and he basically said, I got some dogs. I got 2 dogs. I got 2 studs. And Ohio State, who in the past was looked at as being a finesse football team, especially if you looked at last year and the games that they lost, they didn't show finesse in that first game against Notre Dame. They showed defensively that they can get it done under Jim Knowles, who came from Oklahoma State. But offensively, when the team needed it the most, the running backs in that offensive line pushed on the Notre Dame defensive line, and they got it done.
Number 4.
Number 4, the ACC. The ACC might want to stop scheduling group of 5 teams to play because when you look at what happened this weekend, you talk about Old Dominion beating Virginia Tech. That was one. Then you looked at the UNC, the Tar Heels, playing Appalachian State. That could have ended up in being a loss. If it wasn't for a quarterback missing a 2-point conversion throw, they would have lost that game. North Carolina, that was, and App State would have won. But they didn't win. North Carolina, Mac Brown, they're dancing. I don't know why they're dancing because they literally should have lost that football game.
Oh, that's
and
what
they
that
gave and they gave up like 40 points in the fourth quarter, which is unheard of. To me, unheard of. And then you see East Carolina against NC State and their field goal kicker missing the field goal to the extra point to actually tie the field goal up, and then they got a punt block for a touchdown. So Devin Leary and the NC State Wolfpack, I know they're happy and excited that they actually got out of that. But if I'm the ACC, I might start thinking twice about scheduling group of 5 opponents.
Number 5.
Number 5. So on Thursday night, last Thursday that is, I got a chance to be in Pittsburgh for the backyard brawl. As if you're watching right now, that game ended with an interception for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh and West Virginia should be playing every year. This is the first time they played, Freddie, since 2011, and I don't understand why it was that drought. The most watched football game in Pittsburgh, I think it might have been history, was Thursday night, the backyard brawl, the Pitt Panthers versus West Virginia Mountaineers. I was there. It was electric. And I think every year, starting on that Thursday night football game, I think it should start with the backyard brawl, literally.
That's a great idea. By the way.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.